What's good, y'all? Coming on here holding the camera today because my light died and the lighting just, I don't know what's up with it. But, in my lamp, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get through that though. What I wanna come on here and talk about really is the ego and the comfortableness that we tend to always go to, and so easy to go to, as definitely I have been working with this and is a continuous journey. As the ego is not bad, the ego is actually good. It is our personality, and how others have described it, or this dude named Darius, don't know too much about him, but he's a teacher, and he does teach and guide others. He talks about really calling it the soul's experience, as I believe in past lives. And when you know this work, you know that you've had past lives, and each past life you have went through experience, which may have changed it here and there, but ultimately with the same personality, as through them experiences your personality can change. But when you ultimately know the ego, my bad, thought I heard something. But when you ultimately know the ego and know your personality, you can add on to it. You can make upgrades, and it is really there for you to protect, as that is your true part of your true self, part of your soul's essence, because that is who you are. Even when you are out of body, even when you are soul, you may think the same, or think questions that you would have thought in body, as that is your personality. That is what they like to call ego. And it's a lot of the comfortability that we tend to get mixed up about, as we like to be comfortable to avoid the problems, avoid the emotions and stuff that may come up. And not saying that it's not okay to get comfortable here and there, but when you're doing it by knowing you're doing it, when you're doing it knowing that you ain't doing it to avoid a feeling, to avoid emotion, or just to distract yourself, then ultimately you know that that comfortability is okay. Because not saying it's not okay if you've done it or anything, but it hurts you. It hurts your progress. It hurts you knowing yourself. It hurts a lot of things, and that is what a lot of the programming, a lot of what the government throws out, is to distract us and get us comfortable, get us used to that comfortable feeling. And it is so easy to get used to it. And there's many practices such as meditation, such as cold plunges, that I am definitely doing. But you do not have to do them. But they are definitely what helps you take you out of that comfortability. You could just sit by yourself and really examine your thoughts, pay attention, being aware, as I've talked about many times, we'll continue to talk about, but being aware and knowing that when you are aware, when you're not just comforting yourself, as if you, I'll bring this analogy up, as if you had a child and all you did was comfortable her or comfortable him, like spoil him or spoil her, as people also like to put it in terms. They will not be able to experience to grow. They have to go through their own experiences. They have to go through some certain things and be able to find their way out, be able to find accountability, be able to find responsibility in some of their actions or experiences that they go through. As when we tend to spoil ourselves, as is a way of spoiling, as is a way of addiction. And addiction is something that is hurting you, but you do it anyway. That is one of the definitions. And really, it can hurt us, because as when energy is not moved through the body, it becomes stagnant, and it becomes stuck in the body, creating a dis-ease, which turns into disease or other illnesses or inflammation. And it is not just that, but it is the actions that you may be taking, that you get in, that you comfort yourself, and then once them emotions are expressed, once you are not dealing with what has came up or what is trying to come up, you will subconsciously act in ways that you may not know why. But that is why getting down to them emotions, getting down to who you truly are, and getting down to why you're doing what you are doing will help you be more clear and be more working with the ego instead of against it, or the soul experiences, or your personality, however you may want to call it. As a personality, we all have one, and we've had one throughout our past lives. That is why emotions are so connected to memories, so connected to our past lives as well. Because we all get feelings sometimes, not knowing why. Not just them knowing feelings, but random feelings of emotions. And them can come in many different forms. But when you are able to know your emotions more and not just go to that comfortable spot, go to that distraction, pick up your phone, then ultimately you will have a better answer, a more clear answer, and will have more questions. And them questions lead to them good answers. Trust me. This is going to be a short one today, but I really just wanted to get down to the essence of that, of really how comfortableness has been programming us, has been such a big thing in our society today, growing up especially, playing video games all the time. I was really big on video games, always playing Call of Duty. It was like, and now I think of it, I was in another world playing Call of Duty, like I wasn't here. Because once you get into them games of GTA, just playing them, you're really in a whole nother world. Not even focused on yourself. Not saying you always need to be focused on yourself, but it is good to be, not in a stressful way, but in a way that, in a self-improvement way, in a awareness way, just being aware. And you're so aware in the game, you're so aware playing the game, that when we can apply that to life, looking at ourselves, looking at our attributes, looking at what we do and how we think as we do in the games of the character or the games of the story that we may be going through in the game, and apply that to life, we ultimately know ourselves more and upgrade ourselves and do more things in our love, in our passions, as we would if the story was about the character in the game, as we was playing the character, doing stuff that upgraded the character, doing stuff that aligned with the character's purposes and actions, as life is like a game in that sense. And that's why the government and other people have, or you know what I'm saying, the people behind closed doors have done this, because they've used so many tactics that can compare to life, but then keep you in another reality. That's why AI, I need to talk about this, but this is why AI can be used for good or for bad. It is not the technology that is good or bad. It is, which I don't like to put good on bad or anything, but it is not the technology necessarily that impacts us. It is the people using it and how they are using it and how we are using it. But that's kind of a little off topic, I think. No, that's really what I was saying. But make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. I'm gonna keep coming back at y'all with another one. And yeah, comment down below anything else y'all want me to talk about. Yeah, just ego's not a bad thing. It's your personality. Learn to use it. It is more there to know yourself more. And your personality is unique. Your personality is beautiful. And have that love. As love is not judgment. Love is not containment. The true essence of unconditional love, of love itself, is being open-minded. Not with just yourself, but others as well.